This is my audience.
What would you do if you could prevent your child from developing measles, mumps, or polio? When a child is born, their parent is given the option of vaccinating their child. What most people don't know is that choosing not to vaccinate your child can have its own problems. According to Medical News Today, not vaccinating your child can put others at risk for developing the same diseases. I have been extremely interested in the topic of vaccinating children and have done extensive research on the topic, which makes me feel that I'm accredited to speak to you on the topic of child vaccination. Not vaccinating your child is irresponsible and puts not only your child, but also others at risk for developing diseases that are completely preventable. Today, we will be looking at what it is that vaccinations do, why people should vaccinate their children, and why it is irresponsible not to vaccinate your child. Vaccinations are used to prevent us from developing different types of diseases. According to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, vaccinations work by releasing dead microbes of the disease that stimulates the immune system to create antibodies against the disease. The CDC says that these vaccinations are sent through 3 different primary safety activities to ensure the safety of each one. VAERS, otherwise known as Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System, is a system that is used for people to report their own concerns regarding vaccinations to the CDC, and the CDC looks into possible side effects that come along with it. Vaccine Safety Data Link is a collaboration of the CDC and other public health groups that de-identify health records and evaluated the events following the vaccination. Clinical Immunization Safety Assessment work is the CDC, along with other health research centers, that look into how adverse events occur after the vaccination. All in all, vaccinations are used to help prevent us from developing certain diseases in the future. Now that we see how it is that vaccinations work, how they are monitored, and what it is that they do, we'll be looking at why it is important for people to vaccinate their children. We should be vaccinating our children because not only does it help prevent them from developing a disease, but also from spreading the disease. We can see that vaccinations are working because the diseases that are being vaccinated against are starting to become rare diseases. It is rare to hear of an outbreak of whooping cough, measles, or polio. Tetanus is also a rare fatal disease that is around now due to tetanus shots being provided for the public. If we are to continue in vaccinating against these diseases, the CDC says that we could possibly eliminate these diseases completely. How great would it be to go through life without ever having to worry about our child developing a life-threatening disease? Plus, with the more research going into vaccines, we may be able to one day make vaccines for popular fatal diseases of today, like diabetes, AIDS, or cancer. That's only if we dream big and keep moving forward in the progress in supplying and developing vaccines. Doctors also will give a chart out of when your child's vaccinations are set to be. Now that we understand why it is important to vaccinate children, we will discuss the negative impact on not vaccinating your child can have. Not vaccinating your child is considered irresponsible because it puts not only your child, but also the other people around you at risk for developing diseases. The CDC recommends that parents have their children vaccinated because if there were to be an outbreak of a vaccine-preventable disease, it may be too late to help the unvaccinated child. The real problem is not that you're only putting your child at risk, but that you're putting others at risk. Infants under 6 months do not always receive their vaccinations until they are 6 months due to possible risks. By not vaccinating your child, you're putting them at risk as well. Without vaccinations, a child's immune system is also more vulnerable to the illness and disease, according to the New York State Health Department. Their body is not being exposed to the diseases or illnesses, so the body does not know exactly what antibodies it is that they need to create. Unvaccinated children must also receive different types of treatments in certain circumstances due to their inability to resist some antibiotics. When females become pregnant and they are not vaccinated, this can be a cause for them to develop infections and complications in their pregnancies. Overall, it's important to take responsibility for your child's life and get them vaccinated. Not vaccinating your child is irresponsible and puts not only your child, but also others at risk for developing diseases that are completely preventable. Today we looked at what it is that vaccinations do, why people should vaccinate their children, and why it is irresponsible to not vaccinate your child. I hope after being more informed on this very important topic that you will make the decision to vaccinate your children or your future children.